if you think this has taken you a lot of time to make 4 simple curves, Scotchko, why is this taking so long? Well, you learned a lot of different skills, right? You got to practice them because using the pen tool always includes using your other hand on the keyboard, using those modifier keys, Shift, Option, and Command in order to make certain things happen. And you only will understand that through practice, practice, practice. Okay, so right now, come back to swatches. If you think you're taking long, why don't you check the time on the last video, see how many times I recorded this one, screwing up every single time, usually at the punchline. So deep breath, start over. We don't need our guides. And we have one more thing to add for our paths, and that is we need to close these paths. Right now we have 4 open paths. That means they have a beginning and an end, but they don't close. If there was a line from this point down to here, over to here, this wouldn't have a beginning. Well, it would, because Illustrator does have direction in its paths, and it does have a beginning and an end, but it would be what's called a closed path. It is contained on all sides. We want to do that for all these shapes so we can turn this into a live paint object. And yes, we could do it with the pen tool. We could have even done it with the pen tool when we drew the curves. We could have done this all in one motion, but we're not there yet. What shape is this? A rectangle, or more specifically, a square? Get the rectangle tool. And if you got one of these other tools right at the top of the list, you got it. Make sure the reference point is in the upper left-hand corner. It was in the center. Move it up at the upper left. Come up here and click one time when you get to that intersect. And 400 by 400 is the size of our artboard. And now, get the black arrow. We have our curves and our stroke around the outside. There's no fill. So these are all our paths. I want to turn this into a live paint object, but I don't want to mess up our paths. So I'm going to drag this icon down to the new layer icon right there, let go, and hide the paths. And now we have paths copy, which we're going to rename. And I typed it so many times, I just copied and pasted live paint. And now we want to select this and turn it into a live paint object. And if you don't have anchor points right here on these corners, it means you did not draw that rectangle. You don't have that square around the outside of this, and we need that there in order for this to work. You know the shortcut for the live paint object? Option, Command, X. And look at those 3 keys. They're sitting side by side by side. Command Z on the left side of the keyboard. Object, live paint, make. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do it anymore because I want to use live paint all the time, and I want you to learn how to do this too. So now we have closed paths everywhere. We're ready to fill this with the live paint bucket. Underneath the shape builder tool, right here, the shape builder tool is the live paint bucket. Here, we want to fill with no stroke. I want to swap this out. And I want to actually make a color. I mean, we can do it in black and go click, 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 and then swap over to white and go click, click. So we have color everywhere. Cool. But I would rather these be a color rather than black and white. So I'm just going to pick a light blue color, click OK, and click, click, click. And you might say, hey, Scotchko, don't these black lines look really bad? And if you're not saying that, I'm saying it. They look really bad. So I'm going to select all this stuff, everything. And then over here where it says stroke, it's got a question mark here because some of the fill is white and some of it's blue. And Illustrator's going, what the heck you want me to say? You got 2 colors. Okay, but I want no stroke. Boom, they're gone. Fabulous. So now this is a live paint object. I can come up to my symbols panel and drag it up next to that other one down here. And, you know, yeah, we should be naming these things and all that. Now we have that guy. Now we can come over to our swatches, and we're just going to make this a regular old tile. So we have nothing extended beyond the outside, so we can use our little cheater method to make our tile. And then Option Command 0. And warning, Will Robinson, last time I hit Option Command O on accident, and of course everything went haywire because Bridge launched. Click on your patterns layer in order to select this rectangle, and then click on our new little pattern. Watch how this changes from what was there to, oh, I'm on the stroke. I'm such an idiot. Change that, no stroke. Now I'm on the fill. Now go back to swatches. Oh my goodness. And we'll click on this one right here in order to change it. And you see, yes, they're different. This has more verticals because of the way I made the other one. This is a more wavy, coherent line, but it still has some thicks and thins, so it has some beauty in it. Practice this. Try different things. See what you can come up with. Maybe even take it into Photoshop. I was planning on doing all that, but this has taken so long for me to record. I think I'm good right now. I'm going to hit Command S and close this and wish you happy pattern creation. Learn how to use that pen tool. Practice those simple things. You'd be surprised how far you can go with that.